Across Africa today, something rare is happening. From West Africa to East Africa, from the diaspora to the continent, African youth are speaking one name, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Not because he governs their country, not because he belongs to their tribe, but because he speaks their truth. For decades, African youth were told to wait. Wait for development, wait for permission, wait for aid, wait for foreign approval. But Traoré did not wait. When he speaks, he does not sound like a politician trained to please donors. He sounds like a young African who is tired of humiliation, tired of seeing Africa rich in resources, yet poor in dignity. That is why the youth listen. Traoré talks about sovereignty, not as a slogan, but as a duty. He talks about controlling gold, land, cotton, and energy, not exporting poverty while importing dependency. To African youth, this is revolutionary language. For the first time in a long time, a leader is saying, Africa must stand on its own feet, and that message travels far beyond Burkina Faso. Young Africans see in Traoré something familiar, someone who dresses simply, speaks directly, and lives among soldiers and workers, not luxury. He does not promise miracles. He demands sacrifice, and youth respect that. This is a generation that has watched their future sold cheaply, through bad contracts, endless debt, and leaders who smile abroad while suffering grows at home. Traoré represents resistance to that system. Not resistance through hatred, but resistance through self-belief. That is why African youth call him their president. Because he says what many leaders fear to say, Africa is not poor. Africa is exploited. And exploitation can end, but only when Africans decide it ends. His message aligns with a wider awakening, from Mali to Niger, from Guinea to Sudan, from campuses to communities. Youth no longer want speeches about colonial history alone. They want action, ownership, and dignity. Traoré speaks their language, not the language of foreign conferences, but the language of courage. This does not mean he is perfect. It means he symbolizes something larger than one man. He symbolizes a question being asked across Africa. Why can't Africa be run for Africans? And until that question is answered honestly, African youth will continue to see themselves in leaders who dare to confront the system. Traoré is not Africa's savior, but he is a mirror showing what African leadership could look like when it chooses dignity over dependency and courage over comfort. And that is why, across borders and languages, African youth say the same thing. He speaks for us.